Parenting a teenager with OCD, what's the connection between anxiety and OCD? Because you often see the two linked together. Well, from my own experience, and as I say, I'm only a parent, I just want to point out straight away that I'm a parent, I'm not a qualified therapist. But from my own experience of supporting my own daughter with OCD over the past 6 years, I have found a strong link between anxiety and OCD. The minute her anxiety bucket overspills, then OCD, or hank as I call him, will very much come into play. So what have I found are the best ways of calming anxiety in my own teenager so as to keep OCD at bay? Well, I'm sat by the beach at the moment, and this is what inspired this video, because there are 3 things while I'm sat in this car that have helped me when parenting my own daughter with OCD and calming down her anxiety. Number 1 is literally sitting in the car. What I quickly learned when my daughter was having OCD meltdowns, and I mean OCD meltdowns in children, I mean there's nothing worse. 1 minute it's calm and the next minute everybody's just trying to outshout for OCD's voice. So what I learned to do through having help from CAMS is to actually distract her in that moment, and the best way of distracting her anxiety was to jump in the car and to go for a car ride. Now, this is what worked for her, and we used to put on her favourite music. With her, it was Beyonce. I mean, I think I could probably sing every lyric of Beyonce songs, because the times we sang those, I sang our heart out when we were struggling with OCD meltdowns. So number 1, as I say, was to get in the car and put some calming music on. Number 2, my daughter absolutely loves a coffee, and I've got one here today, okay? So we would then go to a drive-through, grab a coffee, and we'd go for a ride. And then number 3, what works every time and still works to this day, let me just turn the camera around. I'm lucky I live close to a coastline. And I've got probably, I don't know, about half a dozen lovely beaches within a short car ride. So I'm very lucky. Now for your child, it might not be the beach. It might just be they like to go for a walk, or they may just like to go out to the woods and have an adventure in the woods. It's really very much a case of finding what works for your child. But this is what worked for us, as I say, was to get in the car, and as the minute she got in the car, you would watch her anxiety just go down. Then we'd get her a coffee. I don't know, I've got no sense of smell, but I'm told there's a wonderful smell to coffee. And I think for her, coffee represents something she enjoys and something calming. So that would help her. So by the time we did the short ride to the coast, then sat by the coast to watch the waves, she'd wind the windows down. I say we'd have Beyonce or other artists singing out loud. And by the time we got back, yes, she did still have to carry out compulsions. I'm not going to say the compulsions magically went away. But what happened was we would both be in a better place for actually getting those compulsions done. And what we used to do as we were approaching the house, we used to have a special song together. And that used to be our calming down song to actually go and face the ensuing rituals. What was our song? I'll share it with you. It was Moon River by Audrey Hepburn. I think we started singing that because that was one of our favourite films we used to watch together, and it was our special time. And even to this day, when I hear that music, it's got a real special memory. Yes, they were painful times, but her and I have got through so much together, and that song has got us through so much that it holds really special memories for me. So just want to offer some hope, really, as a parent who's been through it. My daughter, I would say, is probably about 90% cured now. Touch wood, we have very few OCD meltdowns now, because what I've learned to do is to manage the anxiety before it gets to that stage. Now, she's gone away to university now to study in a dream university, Central St Martin's. And even when she's away, anxiety does kick in, particularly because she's doing an incredibly stressful course. I've lost count how many times she's been in tears, I'm going to quit. And I thought, whoops, here we go, anxiety bucket raising, what can I do? So I obviously can't drive to London, and I wouldn't drive a car in London, even if I did have a car there and I lived there. So I find an alternative. What can she do? She can buy a monthly bus pass. This is how we got her through uni last year. And the minute I know her anxiety's lifting, she'll FaceTime me. Thank goodness for FaceTime. And I'll say to her, right, get on a bus, go on a mystery trip somewhere in London, which she does. I said, go to a coffee shop, take your work with you, grab a coffee, sit and do some work when the stress levels are down a bit, and then take a ride back. So while it's not quite the coast, I mean, she has been to Brighton, mine, which is quite nearby, so she can jump on a train if she really wants to. But while she's in London, she jumps on a bus, goes on a mystery trip, grabs a coffee, does some work and comes back. And guess what? Her anxiety's right back down there. So I hope this video has helped for you if you're parenting a teenager with OCD. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to pop a comment if it's helped. And I'll see you on the next video.